When an adult child chooses to cut ties with a parent, the reaction is always the same. But she's your mum, but he's your dad. You only have one parent, yet no one ever asks, how could you treat them that way? Why is the burden of the relationship always placed on the child? Why is the expectation always to forgive, to maintain a bond, no matter the damage? Parents are meant to protect, nurture and love unconditionally, but not every parent does. Some manipulate, neglect, or harm the very people they were supposed to cherish, and yet, when the child finally chooses themselves, they are the one met with blame. A relationship is a two-way street, even between parent and child. Love isn't a birthright. It's earned through care, respect, and kindness. If a parent loses their child's love, maybe the real question isn't why did they leave, but why did the parent make staying impossible?
Forgive them. I will never forgive them.
Really?
Never.
Even if you never speak to them again?
I don't speak to them again. I will never forgive them. What they did to me, because what it changed my view on myself. I spent years crawling out from under that rubble.
Parents who call their children ungrateful or constantly remind them of financial costs typically struggle with their own limited resources and have unrealistic expectations for return on their investment. When children fail to meet these expectations, not becoming their parents' ATM or making them doubt they can rely on their children in the future, these parents often break down emotionally. Some parents think, I won't let my child experience the hardships I went through, while others believe, I survived these struggles, so why can't you endure what I did? Living under these conditions long-term gives children a feeling of being merely tolerated house guests. When they grow up, these painful experiences make them avoid their parents, what psychologists call disappointed emotional detachment. They feel no closeness with their parents, no desire to share their lives, and won't discuss problems they face outside the home. Being alone with their parents feels awkward. Sometimes just hearing their parents speak triggers irritability. Even naturally patient people may feel inexplicable anger rising. Some wonder if they're heartless, but this is actually a trauma response from childhood wounds. They become avoidant because past experiences taught them that speaking up won't solve anything, their parents don't really care anyway. Explaining themselves is labeled as talking back. Silence is interpreted as being difficult. Not speaking is seen as being stubborn. Not smiling when unhappy is viewed as having an attitude. Because their emotional needs weren't met or acknowledged early in life, they stopped seeking understanding and comfort. Their subconscious has internalized the belief that parents cannot be relied upon. Children who lack love and didn't consistently experience genuine affection often develop a distorted understanding of love as adults. They fear entering relationships, and self-doubt becomes deeply internalized. Their subconscious believes they're inherently unlovable. Even when others express love toward them, it feels foreign, making them afraid of intimate relationships. Once in a relationship, they become insecure and constantly seek reassurance of their partner's love to alleviate their deep-seated anxiety. They might repeatedly ask their partner if they love them or test them by asking if they remember their favorite foods, trying to prove to themselves they are loved. For those who lacked affection in childhood, adult relationships are filled with contradictions and a fundamental lack of confidence in being loved. Remember though, lacking love in childhood doesn't mean lacking love forever. We experience new relationships and reshape ourselves through them. Good partners and friends gradually help pull us out of that love-deprived state.
According to psychology, people who rarely call their parents after leaving home aren't heartless. Many of them show avoidant attachment, a coping style that makes them look independent and distant. But inside, they're deeply sensitive. They prefer handling life alone, not because they don't care, but because closeness feels unsafe to their brain. Here, the prefrontal cortex suppresses signals from the amygdala, while oxytocin, the bonding hormone, works less effectively. This mix creates the image of calm independence, while emotions stay locked away. Most of the time, this begins in childhood. When comfort was replaced by criticism or needs were ignored, the brain adapted by building a wall of self-reliance. As adults, they struggle with deep connection, pulling back the moment they sense rejection, conflict, or vulnerability. Avoidant attachment isn't a lack of love, it's love buried under layers of protection. Healing starts when the brain learns that safety can exist in connection, and vulnerability doesn't always lead to pain.